Hey book buddies, and welcome back to another episode of Sarah's Reviewing Books. And in this episode I'm going to be reviewing Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lynn Tan, the second book in the Celestial Kingdom duology. And I did receive this book from HarperCollins New Zealand, but as always I promise to give it a completely honest review. I loved Daughter of the Moon Goddess. It did take me a while to get into it when I started it, and so I am not at all surprised to say that I loved the Heart of the Sun Warrior. In fact, I think I enjoyed this more than Daughter of the Moon Goddess, simply because Daughter of the Moon Goddess did all of the world building and all that kind of stuff, which made it kind of slow to read. So when we start on this story, it's all already in place and the story can just kind of start moving and you don't need all the initial information all over again. I love the way that Sue Lynn Tan writes. I think it's so beautiful. She uses really beautiful language in the way that she describes things and how she describes her characters, the settings and all of that kind of stuff. There are some absolutely phenomenal pieces of description throughout it which just make it a really beautiful read and really paints the picture of all of the things that are happening within. I also like the fact that for me, I didn't really get which way things were going to go. I don't want to spoil things, so I'm going to figure out how to word this. I didn't really know which way that Xinyan was going to, who she was going to pick, and the route was going to go down, which I also kind of like, because I'd be like, oh, maybe this way, and then, oh, maybe not, it's going to be this way, and then I'd switch between the two. I couldn't decide which one that I wanted her to pick either, which kind of added to it. I also couldn't necessarily predict how the story was going to play out, which is something that I really like. I don't mind a bit of predictability in it, but I also kind of like having a element of unknown kind of coming through, and I really enjoyed this. I'm absolutely loving these books which bring in mythology and culture and history and stories from parts of the world that I'm not familiar with and haven't had the opportunity to kind of learn and grow up with, like I have with stories from New Zealand or from the UK or Europe in general. So for that reason, I'm always gonna love these kinds of books. I really enjoyed it. I really hope that they kind of adapt these because I think that that would be quite fun to do. I have rated this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend it and very much enjoyed it.